Igniting fire with gasoline easily. Some people think gasoline helps start a fire quickly. However, it is highly explosive and extremely dangerous. Just a single spark can cause a massive explosion. It's better to use safer methods such as dry wood or natural combustible materials. Following birds to find water. It is a common belief that birds always fly toward water sources. In reality, a bird's path can be random or even lead to dangerous areas. Relying solely on this method could make you even more lost. For example, the albatross can fly thousands of kilometers over the ocean without stopping, even though it does not live in an environment rich in fresh water. Imagine following it in the desert. It would lead you to death rather than survival. This demonstrates that this myth is not only inaccurate, but could also be deadly in critical situations. Drinking urine to stay alive. Drinking urine to survive is a dangerous myth. While it does contain water, it is full of salts and toxins that strain the kidneys and accelerate dehydration. Repeatedly drinking it can lead to poisoning and kidney failure. Instead, it's better to conserve energy and look for a safe source of water. Swimming to escape sharks. Swimming away from sharks might sound logical, but in reality, it's a deadly mistake. When you swim quickly, sharks perceive you as prey trying to escape. This behavior triggers their instinct to chase even more. Sudden movements attract their attention significantly. The best option is to stay calm and as still as possible. Move very slowly without creating splashes in the water. This way, you reduce the chances of an attack and increase your chances of survival. Drinking seawater to survive. Many people believe that drinking seawater during emergencies is a good idea. However, its high salt content causes the body to lose fluids quickly. Instead of hydrating you, it makes you dehydrated even faster. This can lead to the failure of vital organs, and in the worst cases, death in a short time. The best option is to look for a source of fresh water or use primitive methods to desalinate seawater. Staying in the car during floods. Staying in your car during a flood might seem like a safe choice, but in reality, it's one of the most dangerous decisions you can make. Even just half a meter of water is enough to move your vehicle, and with a strong current, the car can flip over completely within seconds. The danger doesn't stop there. Water can rush inside quickly, making it nearly impossible to open the doors or windows. Many fatal accidents have happened because drivers thought they were safe inside their cars. The only solution in this situation is to get out immediately and move to higher ground before you become trapped. Remember, a car can turn from a means of survival into a deadly trap in moments. When drowning, raise your hands and call for help. Movies often show a drowning person waving their hands and shouting for help, but the reality is completely different. When someone starts drowning, their body enters a survival instinct mode, focusing on breathing and preventing water from entering the lungs. This makes it nearly impossible to speak or even raise their hands clearly. Movements are short and uncoordinated, and the head often stays just barely above water for only a few seconds. For this reason, someone could drown right next to you without you noticing, because they won't be screaming or waving like you expect. Understanding this fact is crucial because saving them depends on recognizing these quiet, sudden signs, not on exaggerated cinematic scenes. Relying on stars to navigate. Many people believe that stars are a guaranteed way to determine direction anytime, but that's not always true. On cloudy or rainy nights, the stars can completely disappear from the sky, leaving you without any visual reference. Even in clear skies, if you don't have precise knowledge of key stars like the North Star or the Big Dipper, you can easily be misled and lose your way. Some stars move across the sky as the Earth rotates, making them unreliable for the entire night. Depending solely on this method without alternatives such as a compass or maps can put you in extremely dangerous situations. It's best to use stars as an aid rather than your main navigation tool, while ensuring you have other means of orientation. Also, remember that artificial city lights can block the stars completely, making them even harder to rely on. That's why it's wise to practice multiple navigation methods before any adventure in the wild. Drinking water from cactus. Many people believe that drinking water from a cactus in the desert is a good way to save their lives, but this belief could actually lead to their death. The truth is that most types of cactus do not contain pure water as we imagine, but rather a bitter, toxic sap filled with chemicals that can cause vomiting or severe diarrhea, leading to rapid fluid loss and accelerating dehydration. In fact, some species even contain tough fibers that hinder digestion and add to your suffering instead of saving you. If you ever find yourself thirsty in the desert, don't make cactus your first choice. The better solution is to look for rainwater collected in rock crevices or follow animal tracks, which often lead to a natural water source. And if you can't find any of that, stay in the shade, minimize movement to conserve energy, and wait for a chance of rescue instead of risking poisoning yourself. Swimming straight to the shore if you're caught in a rip current. Many people think that swimming directly toward the shore when caught in a rip current is the fastest solution, but this mistake could cost you your life. Rip currents are far stronger than any swimmer, even if you're in peak physical condition. Fighting the current by trying to swim against it quickly drains your energy, and exhaustion increases the risk of drowning. The correct approach is to act smart, not forcefully. Instead of confronting the current, try swimming parallel to the shore, not toward it. Why? Because rip currents are relatively narrow, and once you move out of their path sideways, you'll find much calmer waters. Then you can swim calmly and safely back to shore. If you feel exhausted, float on your back to breathe and regain strength until you can swim again or help arrives.